So back in 1995, I once held a former friend's of mine hand while he got a VD injection right into his. What's up, everybody? You are watching the Glacially Ghost Cult crossover, or the Glacially Cult crossover. I am your co-host, Keefy. We're doing things in a little reverse order today, but I'm here with my good friend and co-host, Nick Cameron. I'm going to add him in. What up, brother?
It is that day of the week, and things are good.
This is quite amusing, actually. I did it
What
this
are you
way.
doing?
It's kind of funny. You'll see. I got the background. Hey. And I got my friend here, Lady Baphomet. Hello. Buck naked with blood and boobs and even an anatomically correct vagina.
Oh, my Lord.
And Satan. How good are we? I'm going to get his shark. He said, where's the shark? Where's the shark?
What shark?
Sharked up, bro.
What shark?
Shark time. I don't have my shark.
I
We don't have Don, so we're overcompensating today.
I have an Eric Lindros bobblehead now. I can grab that.
Do you? That's kind of fun.
It's unfortunately it's from the mush brain years and not the good years.
I get
he's,
that.
He's a ranger in my bobblehead.
Right on. So take it away. You do the usual intro.
So thank you for joining us at the Glacially Musical Podcast live at Ghost Cult Joint. Of course, I'm Nick Cameron, joined by Keefy Quintessence, Quinceañera, something. I don't know. I didn't work this out. As you know how we do a beer check, a vinyl check, a news check, and meat of the episode. This week, we are going to go over the metal albums of 1995 that we quickly whipped through last week, and we're going to discuss them not at length, but at short, because as every year, there's a lot of music. The Glacially Musical Podcast beer of the week is the classic Stone IPA, 6.9% ABV of deliciousness. Go, Keefy.
I think your pop overpowered your talking.
The shark does not have a name.
Okay.
The shark was purchased for my child and I watched a movie called Sharks of the Corn, which was a combination of Jaws and Children of the Corn. So there were sharks in the cornfield.
Yeah, I don't think Melissa was around for that revelation previously.
Thankfully, my child showed up right after the full beer of the week? Nudity. Stone Classic IPA, 6.9% of ABV deliciousness.
Nice work. Before I give my drink check, the best experience for this live stream via our affiliate partner StreamYard is YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Instagram. I am not hanging out on TikTok because they would not have the benefit of Nick's beautiful face. Melissa says, oh, dear God, are you paying for therapy? I mean, he has a kid. That's all the therapy you need. And on that pop, Liquid Death, Convicted Melon. We miss you, Don. Third of your immersed, murder your thirst. Cheers, Nick.
Cheers and cheers, Don. I know you're out there somewhere. Don is sick. He can barely speak. So unfortunately, there is no Don. I am going to try to pick it up with the horn talk as best as I can, which I'm probably not going to do. But I'll give it.
We are a little choppy, so I think let's be slow with our talking and thoughtful with our exchanges to each other, because I think there's a little hiccup with the stream.
Alrighty. Go ahead.
Go right ahead.
Alrighty. The vinyl check of the week. Number 1. Johnny Cash, Golden Hits, Volume 2. This came out of my friend Nikki's dad's collection, which told me I could come over and take whatever I wanted. It's one of the Johnny Cash records I got. I didn't have it, so I got now 1 and 2 again. And record number 2 is My Chemical Romance, The Black Parade. My friend Joe bought me a copy of this because this is, in his mind, the greatest record ever to exist, and I had to hear it. Need to give it a few more spins for him so I can give him a really good opinion. It's not bad. I dig it, but I don't dig it on the level he does. He digs it like I dig The Wall. And that's my vinyl check. They're both free.
That is very cool. I will embiggen myself. I spent part of the weekend cat sitting, And I went to the record store in that area. I will check those records next week when Dawn returns and we start our new series on Alice in Chains. Tune in next weekend for Alice in Chains Facelift, the history of the best band ever from the grunge era and Seattle generally. That's not Jimi Hendrix. And I have a few cool, I'll move my chalk outline notepad away that Melissa gave me. I am checking one record that I found in that pile of unchecked records and unopened records, and then I have one that I got last year as a present, this year as a present that I wanted to share. So these are older records, but the first is a former Gimme Metal record, Speak English or Die by Stormtroopers of Death. I fucking love this record. Arguably the first appearance ever of a blast beat. This record could not be made today. It is the most politically incorrect album of all time. This is the Gimme Metal anniversary vinyl, like 40th anniversary vinyl. Technically came out last year, even though the 40th anniversary was this year. S.O.D. There's currently Billy Milano is doing M.O.D. And Scott Ian has a version of S.O.D. with Jamie Josta singing, or vocals, whatever, not singing, screaming and yelling. And with his son, I think, on drums, and Dan Lilker of S.O.D. on bass. So very strange. These are strange days.
I think S.O.D. Speak English or Die, or perhaps more appropriately, S.O.D. Bigger Than the Devil would be good records to do for the Department of Metal Antiquities.
That's 100% true. We could do a small run on S.O.D. Like White Zombie deserves 2 records minimally, but also DMA would be a very good place to put that. I'm going to continue my check because these are 2 separate, different vinyl variants with the same style, and I wanted your take on this. Right. Oh, something's happening in the alley. I don't know why, but anyway, sorry about that. Front cover, back cover, 2 vinyls. So side A and B is this dark guy. What would you call that? I can't believe I'm holding it like this. How fucking unprofessional.
That's like my daughter's old hockey team colors, but I don't think that would be a good one. The Cyclones merge.
Like a weird merge, right?
Yeah. That's
like
definitely
an F2
a merge.
in a hurricane parlance. And then slightly different but similar, right, is side C and D. So C, I like this actually the most. And then D.
I like it when it's the same colors on both sides, but the patterns are different. I got a bunch of those.
That's
none in that color though.
And then an album that I'm a big fan of that was gifted to me earlier this year by the drummer from my band Angst, my homie Abe, who I will see again soon, is the Dillinger Escape Plan Disassociation. This band is sort of reformed with their original vocalist, but actually winding down again. This is a record store day, I think 2023 release that he had and he wanted to give me or sell me. Maybe I bought it. I don't remember. I think he gave it to me with the intention that I will eventually pay him for it. And it's on these, it's actually really like a quite lovely, the S.O.D. is a recreation of the original vinyl. So that's like, less exciting to me. I guess it's kind of exciting depending on the release. But here's the gatefold. Boom. I don't think this was ever on vinyl in the first place. There are 2 paper sleeves that have printing on them, graphics and thank yous and maybe some other things, lyrics, which is weird because this band didn't really put out a lot of lyrical information on their band. And then on these very interesting identical vinyl pressings, I don't know what you would call this, 3 sides just like this, and side 4 is an etching, which I can
Angry Smaug.
Angry Smaug.
Angry Smaug.
It does look like Dragon Scale a little bit there in the center.
No, it's Smaug after he's been covered in liquid gold.
Well, almost House of the Dragons-y. I know you don't.
No, I don't think you heard me. It's Smaug after covered in liquid gold. Angry Smaug. Yeah. No.
Yeah. So that's my vinyl check. I have more to check next week. I checked my birthday vinyl last week, but I got some really fun scores this past weekend. So right now it's kind of I'm way off the rails in terms of my checking, like I was last year. I was behind, but I was in order. Now I'm way off. So there's just going to be a hodgepodge the rest of the year.
I keep messing mine up, because I have like all my unchecked ones are in a spot, but when I go back and listen to them, I don't necessarily put them in the right spot. And then of course I like, use a little bit of poetic license, like, like in Goodfellas where they change some stuff around to make, for better checking. Like if I had checked all the REO Speedwagons in a row, I would have been a really boring check for about a month.
Lord. Good Lord.
They're not
So
mine. They're the lawyer wife one of them. Ask me
Yeah.
how many times she's listened to them.
0.
It's 0. It is 0.
News check time. Briefly.
Quick news check. Just one thing I wanted to say, a little personal news. Even though this podcast pays us $1 million an episode, I still need to work a day job. It just makes me feel like, like a human. And I have been looking for one for the past 4 months. And last week I accepted a new position with a wonderful company where I will be working in the recycling industry. So I will be putting food on my table by helping save the world. And I am super thrilled and I can't wait to get started there. Will not say where it is. That's beside the point. Quick Vinnie Vincent news. Vinnie Vincent's online alias has been pimping all of his things, his single that's coming out, his on-stage reunion with Robert Fleischman, and his appearance at Chiller. All of them have been canceled, and Robert Fleischman says there was never any chance of doing any sort of reuniting with Vinnie Vincent at Chiller. So now Vinnie Vincent is saying that Robert Fleischman is a leech.
What a mess. What a mess Vinny is.
I would love him to succeed.
I know we take a lot of shots at him. Ingwe Malmsteen or Ingwe J. Malmsteen, I'm never gonna fucking be.
I will never apologize for that. I mean, I'm rooting against him.
I'm never gonna be on Team Yingwe. You know what I'm saying?
Correct. I'm with you.
But I do have sympathy for Vinnie Vincent. I think he's a little misguided, but like it could be the guitar hero we deserve,
But he doesn't. But he chooses not to. Every time he pulls out of everything he does.
It's true.
And that's my news for the week. Okay. Also, I haven't shaved in a few days.
Well, I know Don is gradually growing his facial hair back, so I'm really excited about this. I was like, your only job for the rest of this year is to grow that beard back, bro. So, news check really quick. I started watching the Into the Void series on Hulu. Some of it is very heartbreaking. It's exceptionally well done. I would love there to be a season 2. If I was producing this thing, I could think of a million topics that deserve context. The very first episode, very apropos, of the Glacially Musical Podcast is Randy Rhoads. And so, Randy Rhoads' tragic death. There's an episode on Wendy O. Williams, which Kiss did a huge thing by like helping legitimize them after they had like the most scandalous shit possible happen to them, where she was arrested and caused a riot nearly in Milwaukee. Kiss the next album was basically written and co-produced by Kiss, and then Kiss took her on tour as the opening band. So Gene was totally, I don't know if they hooked up, but he definitely helped mentor her and, get money in their pockets. And, and her ending was very tragic. And there's some other great episodes. The episode on Chuck, Till Dinner of Death, heartbreaking. I'm going to do a longer unwinding review, probably written and on YouTube at Ghost Cult. But yeah, definitely worth your while. The Randy episode, again, very apropos of us having just done the Ozzy for, first 15 years of Ozzy's career, basically. Again, 2 classic albums, 2 excellent albums, and then some other crap that's not great, but a couple of big banger hits.
I've only watched the Randy one so far.
Yeah, I mean, you might need a break after some of these because it's hard to watch. What else? I relaunched my own separate YouTube channel under @GhostCultKeefy666. Please give it a like and a subscribe. I'm live streaming there right now in case anyone's watching. I will be live streaming all the Ghost Cult stuff also on that channel and my Instagram from now on. I will put up some karaoke jams of me singing. I will put up some band updates for Angst when we get back to it. Hopefully with my drummer and us going back to the studio, I can get this Glacially Musical Podcast theme song to happen that I've kind of conceived. Nick has a shark. He's got something to say about it. Shark. Maybe I can. You're muted. Maybe I can figure out a way to
Damn it.
work sharks into it.
I'm just thinking of Sharks with the Corn and what a great movie it was.
Wild shit.
That is, if you've never seen that movie, it's absolutely insane.
That's fair.
It's got Bigfoot too, and a cult, and the mob, and sharks blowing up helicopters. Whatever you want, it's got it.
Speaking of the cult and mobs, so I'll of our news check here. So Metallica is not playing the Super Bowl again. Not that they were really considered. Bad Bunny has been picked to do the Super Bowl halftime show. I don't know if you're aware of this, but Jay-Z, the rapper and mogul, has picked the last 10 years of Super Bowl entertainment. He's programmed the Super Bowl halftime show. I thought last year's was phenomenal. People angry, like, I didn't understand what Kendrick said. I don't like rap. They're going to love reggaeton, Latin rap superstar Bad Bunny when he does an entire 14-minute set in all Espanol, which I'm excited for. I enjoy him. I saw him at Fire Aid to start the year, and I thought he was one of the most charismatic and best performers. Even if it's not my music that's for me, I appreciate why he's huge and charismatic and famous. He's got a great voice. He's a pretty decent rapper also, and people are fucking mad. They're mad, and especially because the Super Bowl will be played in Santa Clara, literally less than an hour away from San Francisco. Why not Metallica? Why not Journey? It's very unlikely that these pop and rap stars are going to bring a rock person in to guest with them, although there's always some kind of guest thing, right? So I did a live stream on this. That's what this image is if you're watching. This is the image of the live stream I did about it. Was Metallica snubbed? Should they even not want to do the Super Bowl? Lars has said he's warmed up to it. Not sure if you have any thoughts about this. I also name dropped about a half dozen other rock bands that should be considered to do the halftime show. But what do you think about this, Nick?
Can you hear me?
You've been muted a lot.
Okay, am I muted now? Okay, no. Wait, so the Giant Stadium is an hour away from San Francisco now? Was that what you said? Keefy's gone. Okay, it's just me. Personally, I do not care who's playing in the Super Bowl. I do not watch the Super Bowl. I am not an NFL fan. I love the Grey Cup. I watched the Canadian Football Championship, and Green Day once played the Canadian Football Championship, and I don't think anybody in Canada went ape nuts. But Canadians are nice, so we got that going for us. I don't know what to do now.
I'm here. I'm right here, buddy.
Oh, okay. You weren't like I was.
Yeah, I know. It's just kind of hard to shift back and forth. I'm working on the technology to make it seamless. It's just challenging. So anyway, that's my news check. And just a reminder, while we're doing the news check, I will also do a couple of minutiae things. Again, Ghost Cult Magazine is giving away tickets to see The Cult, Death Cult, Failure, and Patriarchy in LA. Absolutely, if you have a shot of going to LA on October 30th, put your name in the hat for this. We have 5 pairs of tickets to give away. You can drop Nick and I a tip. We haven't been getting any tips for these chasers because I know it's kind of like not what we do is ask for tips, but like I do like tips. And if you want to drop a tip, I will split it with Nick. I won't give it Don less. If Don was here, then I give Nick. Again, not anybody that's family or a real one should be concerned with tipping us, but it's just a nice thing to do. Live streamers ask for tips. So I started doing it. Occasionally we get some. Also now I have the screen where I can put us both up and we can do this guy. Look at this. Dude. Hey, that's what I wanted.
There's a bug.
Oh, I don't like bugs. Shirt check and then me.
Yep, shirt check. I'm rocking my Godzilla once again.
Nice work. I have a Dawn of the Dead shirt under this flannel.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And
Halloween season is here. I mean, it's really Halloween season from July 5th on for me. And it continues to be Halloween all year because every day is Halloween. Melissa really likes Patriarchy. They're really good. I think we have an interview coming with them soon, not done by me, but a Q&A.
You know what I heard a couple of times?
What'd you hear?
Every day for me is Halloween.
Okay. Not sure what that's about.
I was singing Halloween by King Diamond.
I know.
Perfectly in key.
You weren't. All right.
Completely on the
So
note.
we did our shirt check. Is it time for the meat of the
It's
episode?
time for the meat. We're doing something a little bit different this time. We tend to overtalk the albums of the year when we shouldn't be. So now we're going to take some time to talk about them. We got about a good 55 minutes to go. So we can get through a bunch of these and then discuss what we really like and don't like about that year. All right, Keith,
Are we still doing the three? Like I'm gonna go through the year, and then we're gonna each have
3, yeah.
like 3, 2, 1, or
Yeah,
1,
3, 2,
2,
1.
3, and then some honorable mentions, right?
No honorable mentions.
No honorable mentions.
The twos are the honorable mentions. The 2 and the 3, that's honorable mention.
I guess.
We don't need honorable mentions. Or honorable mentions.
Okay.
Attorneys General. I heard
records that were released, and I'll try to skim this list down from the full list that I did last week.
Fair.
AC/DC Ballbreaker. Fuck no.
No, that is a bad. I saw great tour, bad record.
Alice in Chains self-titled record. Pretty good.
I don't like that one right now, but I bet if I went back and listened to it again, I would enjoy it.
We're going to in about 6 weeks.
We'll revisit that one soon.
Yes. Again, I know you're not a fan of this band, Amorphous. Black Winter Day, new Amorphous album out now on Raining Phoenix.
I am indifferent. I've never heard, so I have no strong feelings.
Anal Cunt, top 40 hits. Fun, but not really what I would call a quality album.
I don't think anything they've ever done is a quality album.
That's probably true. A record I am extremely fond of. I didn't have time to get out my records for this, but I have this one.
I didn't either.
Stomp 442. I have it here.
I would actually. I think I need to do some of those John Bush records on the DMA.
You need to save that, and we're gonna do it here. Like, why would you do them on the
DMA? How many albums are there?
John Bush. 1, 2, 3. We're not counting live albums, right?
No live albums.
4 and an EP.
4 is enough. 4 is enough. Okay, never mind. Save it for here.
Yeah. At the Gates, Slaughter of the Soul, probably one of my top 3.
Not a big fan of At the Gates. I haven't dug in. I heard like their comeback record was pretty good.
Yeah, we talked about Bad Brains last week. God of Love. This is the record produced by Adam Yauch.
Yauch.
New York City.
All right.
Scooter's here. What's up? Lycanthrope Management's here. What's up?
Where's Skeeter?
Scooter's on. There's people on Instagram. You can also see. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate y'all. Sorry. YouTube is always the best. It's like the easiest thing, but whatever. It's cool. Black Sabbath Forbidden. No.
You know what? That album isn't as terrible on the remix. It's still not great.
Apparently, Iomi, if you sign up for his mailing list that just went live, you can get a signed copy of Forbidden in the pool to win one.
I do not need that.
I don't even want another one. God.
Yeah, I have one. I don't need 2. I think if I had 2, I'd be in a spot and I wouldn't know what to do.
Right. Behemoth's first record, they have better records. Benediction, good record. The Dreams You Dread. Very alliteration, Benediction. I see what you're doing there. Brujeria, Razadiata, not a thing for you, but a thing for me. Cancer, Black Faith, if you love death metal. Carcass, Swan Song, that might be one of Nick's.
No, that album is awful.
I think if it wasn't put out by Carcass and it had a different name, it would be a very good record.
It might be,
but because it's Carcass and it's not Carcass sounding.
There is no Carcass sound, really.
All
their albums are different. But they in their second act, they really latched onto the melodic death metal of Heartwork. That's become like their thing. And discussing the Brassalubili Braziers, descanting in them.
Descanting the Insalubrians.
Braziers. But where was I? So the thing about that is it followed up Heartwork. And Heartwork might be the absolute number one Duke of New York, the Dune of death metal records. Not the new Dune, but like the one with Patrick Stewart, because Patrick Stewart's better.
That's her.
And Al from Quantum Leap.
Sure. Right. Cathedral, Carnival Bazaar, great album. probably in my top 5, but not number 1, 2, or 3. Crowbar, Time Heals Nothing. I fucking love that album. Probably right
Never
on the
really got
cusp
into
of
Crowbar.
3. We're gonna do Crowbar.
This is a bit of a void era for me. The stuff
Yeah, you
in
told me
this
that.
era that I love, I really love.
But
though.
not as bad as 2000 to 2009.
That's a real dark era for me.
You said that.
I was real checked out.
Moving on. Dark Tranquility, the Gallery, again, excellent record, not a band for you. Melodic death metal also. Dark Throne, Panzerfaust, fucking awesome. Death Symbolic, fucking unbelievable record.
I really want to love Death. And
know.
I mean, they're okay to me. I mean, I don't absolutely love them. I know when it comes to Death, most people are like, oh, we lost Chuck too soon and he was so great. And, you know, both of those statements are true. He really was great and we did lose him too soon. But I think for some people that elevates the quality of the music, kind of like Bolt
Nirvana.
Thrower. What?
Nirvana.
Oh, Nirvana. Yeah, completely.
Nothing
like
against them. Love the band. Love some.
Right.
Love all. I saw them many times, 3 times.
But a lot when someone in a band, especially the voice of a band, dies in mid-career, it catapults it always catapults the band into a higher rating than they may or may
there's a lot of nostalgia now for
that
and
Bolt Throwers the same way for me, where I mean I listened to the Fourth Crusade. I had it for a while. I just remember thinking, really, this is that band I've been seeing.
I have 2 Bolt Throwers on vinyl from that Gimme Metal run. So like I love
I just remember thinking this is the band that all these like the heavy metal Twitter has been, you know, just jizzing on themselves all over and then rubbing it on their face, going Bolt Thrower, Bolt Thrower, Bolt. And
please don't say jizzing and rubbing on faces. I had a very hard weekend. Please, no pun intended. Okay. Moving on, Death Symbolic, Deceased, the Blueprints for Madness. They have better records, but a solid. Deftones, Adrenaline in my top 3 for sure. Debut album. Deicide, Once Upon the Cross, not that record.
Not a great record.
Not a great record. Dimmu Borgir's debut.
But I mean,
Tid.
I'm sorry, going back to Deicide. When people talk about how, you know, Deicide, not great record, yeah, most Deicide records are about the same. And I love Deicide. Their latest album, Banished by Sin, it's a level up. It's something different. It's closer to Carcass. It's closer to that kind of thing, that really serious riffing. But when you get back into their 90s stuff, it's a lot of it is just so rooted in that Morris sound, that classic death metal, where they really don't know how to do anything else, which is kind of why a lot of the Morbid Angel records aren't great for me. Because
understood.
They perfect
coming up soon in a minute.
Yeah, okay. I will wait.
Stop pontificating as much. So this Dimmu Borgir, better records the next 3. Dissection, Storm the Light's Bane, unbelievable death metal record. Another guy dead too soon. He died in the tsunami in Thailand back in 2005. Down Nola, obvious top 3. Fucking incredible. Dream Theater EP, I barely remember. Earth Crisis, they have better records than Destroy the Machines. Faith No More, previous podcast subject that Nick did not like. King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime.
That album was bad.
It is not bad. You don't understand it. You don't understand it. This is a lock for me. Fear Factory, Demanufacture, has to be.
Dino Casares was talking about how he doesn't feel like they're getting enough credit for other bands putting in. And you know what? He's probably right. Because Fear Factory was the very first band I ever heard that would switch between growling vocals into melodic vocals.
They were the first and maybe the best.
And I don't like it.
That's too bad.
I don't like it when it's one person doing it.
I get it. Fight, A Small Deadly Space.
God, I wanted to like Fight.
I know. I think War Words is actually decent. Flotsam and Jetsam, who I love, but not this record. Drift. Grunge killed off a lot of these thrash bands when they tried. Forbidden did it. They did it. Everybody tried to make a rock record. It was a mistake.
Yeah, 95 was a weird year for metal.
It was. Fu Manchu, Daredevil. Good record, but not in the top. The Gathering, Mandylion. Again, I really feel like I want to do a bunch of honorable mentions. I'll do my own list. I don't need you. Grip Inc., The Power of Inner Strength. We were talking about this record last week quite a bit, featuring Dave Lombardo and Valdemar Sorachaya. Sorry. My Polish is bad considering my ancestry.
You said sriracha. That's a hot
I
sauce.
did. Sriracha.
Very
Also a
good
song by a
record.
friend of mine.
It was re-released on vinyl last year, and it quickly sold out, and it's almost as valuable as the original pressing now. It's like, come on, man.
I really want that. Gwar Ragnarok, maybe one for Nick.
Love Gwar Ragnarok.
Top 10, not top 5 for me, but top 10.
It's always one hell of a party when Ragnarok comes to town.
Yeah. This is kind of timely. Iced Earth Burnt Offerings. This is their second record or third record. And we just have a brand new interview on Ghost Cult's channel with Omar Cordy. Omar cut this, interviewed Matt Barlow. And he talks about Iced Earth and their history and stuff. And he was political, sidestepped the political stuff with Schaefer, the traitor, because that's his brother-in-law and he has to be diplomatic, of course.
No, I was going to not make the obvious pun about burning offerings and Schaefer.
Yep. Immortal Battles in the North, great record, but not top. Again, the humorously titled Incubus's Fungus Among Us when they were still rap metal. I do love doing New Skin.
I want to hear that album.
I'll send you the big single from the one before it. That's the one after it. That's really good. Iron Maiden, The X Factor, fucking no.
Oh my god.
Thick studio album by Joe Satriani, self-titled. No, thank you.
Just play Summer Song and shut up.
Yeah, basically. And Surfing with the Alien. Cataclysm, Sorcery, not bad, but not
I don't even need Surfing with the Alien. Just Summer Song.
Catatonia for Funerals to Come EP, very solid. King Diamond, The Spider's Lullaby, hell no.
You know what? I'm going to say that record is still pretty good.
It isn't.
I don't care what I said.
It's funny. Last week you were like, "This thing sucks," and now you're like, "Oh, it's still pretty good." Dawn has an effect on you when Dawn is here. I see it now. I see it so clearly.
Admittedly, there is a large portion of nostalgia, as that was the first King Diamond album I got when it was new.
I understand.
Nostalgia.
Creator, the Paradise Lost of thrash metal, Cause for Conflict. I don't need this record.
I don't need Creator.
I love Creator, but we're not there yet. Crisian, Black Forest Domain, great band, probably top 15 or top 10 for me. Caius's final record, And the Circus Lives Town. It's a little uneven, but it's still a good Caius record. Mad Season Above. I know you said you weren't a fan. I love this record.
We did that on the Department of Metal Antiquities. Duncan loved it.
Yeah, he would. You wouldn't. Marilyn Manson, Smells Like Children. I know he's, questionable, but phenomenal. EP is where we got Sweet Dreams and a few other things. Hidden Trevors.
Hang on. I actually saw Marilyn Manson on that tour. Clutch opened along with I forget the name of the band, but the original Urge drummer was in that band after he had been fired for being a drunk.
Urge from the band that has Going to the Liquor Store?
Yeah.
Going to the liquor store.
He got fired for being he got fired for being too drunk for that. It'd be like it's like getting fired for being too drunk for Ace Frehley's band.
I'd love to talk to Steve about that, but we'll see.
But
I'm waiting for you to make that happen.
He's not easy to get a hold of anymore.
I did put it out there to Gore's publicist this week that we should get Gore. I'm going to do a new interview with Gore and we should get an interview with Gore also to talk about vinyl, but Gore vinyl.
Would it be Gore or the alter egos? I mean, what would we get?
A Gore member in costume on camera talking
about vinyl.
Yeah,
that's the greatest thing I've ever heard.
I'm telling. I thought so too. He didn't quite get it. I was trying to flesh it out from between me, you, and Don. I would be happy to say very little that episode.
But the Marilyn Manson tour, though, that was in a club, and it's one of the creepiest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, I can't imagine Clutch's fans liking Marilyn Manson and vice versa.
This is very early Clutch. This is back when Clutch was
debut album.
Yeah, when they were kind of an extreme metal band.
Well, they weren't extreme. They were just stoner rock, but heavier.
Right, kind of extreme at the time.
Yeah, a little hardcore
for the time.
He sings more now, Neil Fallon, and he did.
Yeah,
that
the next time I saw a lot. Yeah, the next time I saw Clutch was Sounds of the Underground, where I saw Gwar for the first time, and I'm like, wow, what happened to Clutch? They got good.
Okay, I'm gonna pretend you didn't say that to me.
You won't
do what I have to do. Megadeth Hidden Treasures, again, a 10 of 10, but it's only an EP.
Doesn't count.
Meshuggah debut second album, Destroy, Erase, Improve. I know you're not a fan, but it's
I can never find the songs in Meshuggah.
Okay. Monster Magnet again, Dopes to Infinity, certain top 10 for me that year.
Saw them open for Aerosmith once.
I saw Monster Magnet open for Aerosmith. I saw Monster Magnet headline over COC and Season to Risk. Phenomenal band.
And they did the Mitch Hedberg joke.
They did it.
But it was before I'd seen Mitch Hedberg.
Motorhead Sacrifice. No.
Motorhead really didn't need to make any.
Not make new records. Yeah. Bungle, Disco
85.
Volante. Good. Very good. I think you probably like Bungle more than you like Faith No More.
I haven't really listened to Bungle. I'm not really a fan.
Okay.
My favorite Faith No More is Chuck Mosley. Faith No More. I mean,
tighten it up. Nevermore debut self-titled album produced by Dave Mustaine.
Not familiar.
Nothing Face self-titled demo. Don't need it, but their next a couple of years, if we do those, are good. November's Doom, good record amid its howl of mirth. Opeth's debut album Orchid, phenomenal. Last week's episode, Osmosis by Ozzy Osbourne.
I remember that album being so much better than it is.
I remember loving that thing, and now I'm like, why did I like this thing at all?
Old LA Tonight. I remember Old LA Tonight being just a gem, a classic. And I listened back, and I'm like, we already did My Mom Coming Home.
Fuck Power Man 5000.
I said it
in the earbud. Primus, Tales from the Punch Bowl, solid but not spectacular for them.
That's every Primus record for me.
The debut album by Rammstein, Herzeleid. New Deutsche Harte is the genre Rammstein belongs to. Your favorite record of this year, I'm certain. One Hot Minute by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Their last good record, in my opinion.
Their last best record.
Their last only good last record of the last.
This tour as well,
years.
And it's a great show, amazing show.
Yeah, tour was great. We can talk about that. Held up great. St. Vitus, Die Healing, solid. Sabotage, Dead Winter Dead. Don is not here to hum on that record.
Hump on that or hum on that?
Sentenced, Amok, Septic Flesh, Acetopron. 6 Feet Under's debut, Horrible, Haunted. Fuck. Skid Row, Subhuman Race. No.
I've never heard that one.
Yeah. Slash's Snake Pit. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Top 10, but not top 5, but close.
Yeah, I would agree. Top 10.
Strapping Young Lad. Heavy is a Really Heavy Thing. That's their debut album. Phenomenal. Snapping Necks. Probably a top 20 for me. Suffocation. Pierced from Within. Excellent. Again, Sugar Ray, Lemonade, and Brownies, where the album cover is better than the sum total of all the music.
This is when they were a metal band, right?
They were like punk, heavy punk. They weren't quite metal.
The one where they had the video where they were
Mean
skating
Machine.
in a hockey rink?
Hockey. Yeah, Mean Machine.
Yeah. I remember hearing their big hit a couple years later going, what the hell happened to these guys?
Yeah.
Money's what happened.
Yeah. Damnation Game by Symphony X. No, I'm good.
Democracy.
The only band I've ever fallen asleep watching.
I fell asleep to Paul Simon.
That's crazy. The Tankard by Tankard. I'm good. Therapy, Infernal Love. It's kind of like past the peak for them. And let's see. Trouble, Plastic Greenhead. Good album. Stoner Rock. Stoner Doom.
This
Uncle Slam
is starting to be a thing. I'm glad.
I mean, it takes off big. Did you see the meme I shared that was like Arnold is the Terminator carrying a giant coffin, and it's like when I like thrash metal and doom metal equally, and I was like, it is literally me. It's actually me. Vader De Profundis, great effort, probably top 20. Van Halen Balance, fuck no. Vince Neil, we made fun of him last week. Virgin Steel, The Marriage of Heaven and Hell, Part 1, not bad.
Is there a part 2?
I don't remember. Probably a top 5 for me, but hard pressed to fit in the top 3. I know you hate this record, but it is go back and revisit White Zombie, Astro Creep 2000, Synthetic Delusions of the Electric Head. It is much better than you remember. It's like 9 of 11 songs are fucking excellent. You really need to give it another try. And I think that's all that's worth talking about.
I do not need to give. I will give that album another try when we do a White Zombie, a very short White Zombie series.
So that was like about half the detail I gave last week when it was you, me, and Don. Are we doing 3, 2, 1? Nick
Sorry, I
muted
had to
and
sneeze.
sneezed. Understood.
I had to sneeze. Let's do 3, 2, 1. And for my three is 100% completely nostalgia.
Okay, I'm gonna try to like make notes of the list. So you go ahead.
My number 3 is King Diamond, The Spider's Lullaby. I know. It's got songs that aren't great, but it also has.
It's so bad.
It is not so bad. Side 1 is questionable. Very questionable. But side 2 is amazing. Like, if he could have like done side 2 for side 1, we'd be talking about that as a modern day King Diamond classic. I mean, granted, some of the lyrics are pretty cheesy. Soon to be another creamy spot. Hear the spider's lullaby. He finds the spider scary. Creepy, crawly creatures. Wow, those lyrics are bad.
Stop it. The record is bad. You just have fucking musical dysphoria.
I'm gonna ignore that
you don't
said
like
that.
Fear Factory and you hate this White Zombie record. Those are two easily better records than the King Diamond record. Jesus Christ.
Nope. Eat your own butt.
Eat my own butt. This is impossible for me because there's probably about 7 records that I could have at number 1 or 2, and then there's a fall off. So I'm gonna really put myself out there and say that my number 3 is going to be Deftones' debut album, Adrenaline. It is the second best record of the nu metal era, of the original wave of nu metal. So Korn, Deftones, Cold Chamber, and a few other bands that popped up around the first couple of Ozfests. And then there was another wave of nu metal bands, and that's the Linkin Park, System of a Down, other bands, Slipknot.
System of a Down was on the first Ozfest.
They were not. They were on Ozfest 98 or 99. They were not on the first Ozfest.
I saw them in
96.
I saw them in I'm talking about the first touring Ozfest.
Well, that's not the first Ozfest. The first Ozfest had 2 dates. You're wrong. You're wrong. Go look at Wikipedia, genius. And can I finish my fucking number 3? Why do you have to jump in and argue with me? God, you're irritating. I have a very low tolerance for bullshit lately. Come on. Deftones. First Ozfest is 96. Deftones signed to Madonna's Maverick Records. They had been a band since they were teenagers. The DJ was part of the band since they were teenagers. He just didn't have a credit on an album until the 3rd album as a full member of the band. Helped invent the style, helped put them on the map. If you had said like Deftones never progressed past or changed their style past the first record or 2, that would have been enough. They did enough on that first record. It is phenomenal. It is nuanced. It is sophisticated. Chino is unlike most other metal vocalists. He also can rap and could rap along with the metal parts. He had a great scream. And their original bass player, Chi Cheng, probably one of his finest moments is that whole first record. Just sick all the way around. A lot of bands took, copied from them and paid homage to them. And, they had a major label push. They were the second band out in the genre. I don't know if you count this. Is Rage Against the Machine their own genre? Are they nu metal? You could weigh in on that.
I always kind of saw them as rap metal. But they were, because of Tom Morello, they were a different kind of rap metal.
Right. They're not quite the same as nu metal. They're so sophisticated as musicians, they're better than most nu metal bands.
And honestly, it wasn't until Street Sweeper Social Club that I realized what a great guitar player Tom Morello is.
That's insane.
And just for the record, Wikipedia is wrong on the Ozfests. I could be mistaken. I assure you it is. I only saw Ozfest in 97, 98, 99, the first 3. And I know for 100% that I saw System of a Down twice.
Good for you. I'm just telling you the first Ozfest. There's an Ozfest documentary coming out. I did an extensive bunch of research to do an Ozfest video series that I haven't done yet. And 96 was the absolute first Ozfest. And it had Danzig and Ozzy and all these other artists. And you're just wrong. That's fine. I am wrong. You can be wrong.
I am wrong on this one. I'm looking at it. There's Phoenix and San Bernardino. But I'm just saying that System of a Down is not listed, and I know I saw them.
Well, they were not out yet. They were not even signed at that time. They weren't out signed until 97. They came out in 98. Thank you. Goodbye. Anyway,
Then it had to be 98.
okay, good for you. And if they were on 98, they were on the second stage because I went to Ozfest 98, and they absolutely were not on the first stage because I saw every band on the first stage.
Very first band at second stage.
Wow. Anywho, Deftones Adrenaline number 3 for me.
I remember.
Sorry if I chewed your head off a little bit there, but like you really shouldn't fuck with me.
I'm not trying to fuck with you. I'm
not to be trifled with. I don't think you respect
me. I'm not trifling. I do respect you. I'm trying to have a conversation with you. I remember when this album came out and what a splash it made, because this is when, you know, you're saying they're the first wave of new metal. Absolutely 100% correct. This is when this new kind of metal that kind of grew out of grunge and hip hop actually got somewhere. Funk Junkies had a cover of Kisses I Love It Loud around this time as well, and to this day I still get those bands confused.
That is their only good song, Funk Junkies.
I don't know that I ever heard anything else, but I'm really happy I heard what I did.
Fair enough. I will also say that I saw Deftones open for Anthrax on that Stomp 442 record, and people were indifferent to them. And Anthrax's Stomp 442 is like another step less melodic and thrash and more Pantera-y groove metal, which should have worked. Yeah, it sure is. You don't remember maybe it. But,
I only remember the Sound of White Noise.
Then I saw Deftones' debut headline tour in New York City a year later, and it struggled to bring anyone in, like maybe 50 people. And then I saw them earlier this year at the Chase Center where the basketball team plays in San Francisco, and they sold it out 20,000 people. And they also sold out Sacramento, their hometown. So back-to-back days, back-to-back essentially home region shows, 40,000 people. Crazy. Crazy what the world becomes 30 years later.
It's amazing what starts off as completely unlistenable and then becomes mono that you just want to dig into your veins.
True. Okay, what is your number 2? Please be better than King Diamond. Jesus Christ.
I will never be better than King Diamond. I will always be seeking that. But my number 2 record of the year, of course, is Guar's Ragnarok. It's such a fun record. And when I bought this, I kind of thought I was buying Scumdogs, because in my brain I had Scumdogs of the Universe and Ragnarok confused. This is not Guar at their best. Let's call the thing what it is. Guar is at their best, I kind of think, at the beginning and at the end of the run. The middle part of the run, the 90s part of the run, gets a little bit squiffy, but still a very enjoyable record. I got a really cool red and blue merge of it that I got for a really good price. Number. I think I got it even during COVID. Still trying to get America Must Be Destroyed.
Do they have an anniversary coming up for that one?
I don't know. It's been re-released a few times. I just haven't been able to get to it before. Because the thing about vinyl still to this day is if something is like Grip Incorporated record, like Guar Hello, the Guar's like what 37th anniversary of Hello or whatever the hell it was, that stupid crap that they did. It's ridiculous because what that release of the album did was it lowered the value of the original pressing and raised the value of the repress. So they're both hovering around 100. Stupid, just irritating.
Yeah, I got heavily, I was always aware of Guar and I liked them, and I saw them on Morton Downey Jr. and I really appreciated their antics. But the first like full Guar record I really listened to was Ragnarok, and Beavis and Butthead didn't hurt watching the video and making fun of it and enjoying.
I don't remember the Ragnarok one. I remember America Must Be Destroyed. No, This Toilet.
Sadama Go-Go.
God, I love that song.
That's a great fucking. That might be, honestly, if we have a debate about like what is the best Guar song one off. I mean, I still love Sick of You, but I love Sick of You, and like I really love it. But like Sadama Go-Go is phenomenal.
And then when you go back and listen to that album in context later, you just go, what in the hell happened? How did Guar become this?
I don't know. Maybe it was being on Metal Blade helped them.
And then they never more metal. And then they got they had like horns and all this kind of weird stuff.
You know what? It's like I like occasionally enjoy some ska punk, right? But like I kind of wish all ska punk was Sadama Go-Go and not ska guitar.
Like,
I wish it was like now, and that Disco Volante Bungle record has a little of that vibe too, because they had horn players as well as they would do like yacht rock and funk and then thrash and
like
death
mighty
metal.
mighty boss tones.
Yeah, boss tones, but like not trash, which the boss
I
tones
like
are
mighty
not a
boss
good.
tones.
They're not a good band. No, they have like a handful of songs, and then it's like you don't. Their albums are not. Their
have
albums
an
are like
album.
2070.
They have an
They
album.
have 40 albums. They're
No.
retired now.
They have an album, and then they got all that other stuff they released too.
I'm still mad that they did the Kiss cover on that Kiss covers record.
Really? That's like one of the three good songs on
No,
that
it isn't.
record.
It's
Yes,
terrible.
It
is
good.
fucking terrible. I'd rather listen
It
to
is
Toad the
not.
Wet. I'd rather listen to Toad the Wet Sprocket butcher rock and roll all night.
No, they didn't butcher it. They murdered it.
They did. Is that
Slowly.
your number 2?
That's my number 2.
That's a great number 2. I'm not going to front. I like that we're going to have radically different lists. This is appropriate that we're going to have absolutely different lists. So for number 2, this is fucking me because like the 2 records I have probably listened to the most besides Deftones and this next one is the White Zombie and the Anthrax. I have listened to those so much, right? And it pains me to not put them in the top 3. So for me, my number 2, and it could be a little bit of a heartbreak nostalgia because he just passed away, Thomas Lindbergh, At the Gates, Slaughter of the Soul. To me, this is the pinnacle melodic death metal album. This is the best At the Gates record. I have seen them perform it in full twice, including at Psycho Las Vegas in the pool, where Thomas wore like little short shorts and his white legs and his army hat, and a little t-shirt. I was like, what is happening?
Was he dressed like Sabaton on shore leave then?
Yes, actually true. But you know, he's always worn like a military jacket and baggy pants or army pants, and he's just wearing like short swim trunks and his hat because his hair was always thin and running away. His hairline was receding and running away from him. But it's a phenomenal album. I think Thomas is actually the pinnacle, also maybe the best vocalist ever in death metal. We could have a debate about that. Would be a good chaser. We've done the Mount Rushmore of death metal, and At the Gates would be an honorable mention, as we discussed back then. Phenomenal record.
We'd have to do a Mount Rushmore of death metal vocalists, followed by guitar players, followed by drummers.
Yeah, probably.
Actually, not drummers.
The Mount Rushmore of bassists in death metal has only got 2 guys: Alex Webster and fucking Steve DiGiorgio.
Got that many?
Maybe a few more. Mike from
maybe
Origin is the bass up here. Like
maybe a few less.
Derek Boyer of Suffocation. This guy.
Yeah.
At the Gates.
We would be judging them based on their stage stance.
Yeah, At the Gates. You should really, as much as you love death metal, especially old school brutal death metal, you should go back and listen to some At the Gates.
I completely agree. I should. And if I come across something, I'll buy it. My number 1, you called it like a sack of potatoes on this one. It is One Hot Minute by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. This is the first time that I got on board with the Chili Peppers for Blood Sugar Sex Magic. I think I had heard about them going into Mother's Milk. But the first song of theirs I really knew was Under the Bridge, and it took a long time for me to get into that, and then Give It Away was really fucking weird, and the video was even fucking weirder. So it took a while for me to get it, but by the time One Hot Minute came out, I was well on board. And Red Hot Chili Peppers is one of those bands. There's a bunch of them out there in the world. Tori Amos and 311 and The Urge, where I had just friends that were crazy for these bands before they broke. And all of my skater friends were huge in the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And I remember watching whatever the hell that skater program was on Nickelodeon back on Saturday mornings in the late 80s. And they were all saying, favorite bands, Red Hot Chili Peppers. They, all the skaters loved them. And then I remember seeing the video for Under the Bridge. And my thought was, wait, this is what Red Hot is? Because I didn't know that they'd never had a ballad before that day. Because I missed the first 4 albums. Figure of speech. But One Hot Minute was that band on a whole other level. It probably one of their most focused records, especially of the second act. I don't count the first few albums. The Hill albums were one act, then Frusciante Forward was another act, and then the 90 or the aughts to now is the third act. And they before this album and after, almost every one of their albums is too long, unfocused. And even though One Hot Minute is a 3-sided record, which I am very much on record and on brand for not liking 3-sided albums, it's either because 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100 even, a 3-sided record is too long. You don't give me enough differentiation, but this one is it's just absolutely amazing. But we could drop P. I love you, Flea, but I don't need that song. Other than that, 10 out of 10 banger record, top to bottom.
Fuck you, asshole. You homophobic redneck dick. He says it really happened. Somebody accosted him at a gas station.
That's wonderful. That doesn't make for a great song, though.
Yeah, it's a pretty fantastic record. It's an immaculately sounding great record.
Who produced that one? Do you remember?
It might have been Rick again. Navarro kills it. Now I get that he was kind of a fish out of water with them because they couldn't jam with him. He can't jam. He has to come in with songs, learn my song, and then we play the song. He can't do covers and he can't jam. I mean, you go to the well and sell 30 million records, you come right back to that well again. So Flea wrote actually the majority of One Hot Minute with a few riffs and songs contributed by Navarro. Navarro and Chad sound great together because they come from the big rock, heavy rock, classic rock era. But it's the spontaneity wasn't there, and that's kind of why Navarro couldn't last. I mean, I will tell you that I enjoy One Hot Minute much more than any Jane's Addiction album. I know that's blasphemy, but
yeah, me too.
I like people that don't steal from their girlfriends to create the entire visual brand book for the band. And I think Perry sucks. He's a shitty vocalist. He's a very interesting person and a good entrepreneur. He's a bad singer, and Kiedis is a bad singer. But One Hot Minute might even be more than Blood Sugar Sex Magic. Might be his best vocals. My Friends and Aeroplane and like.
I also don't like Porno for Pyros.
Deep Kick. Well, I don't like Perry. It's just period. I just think Perry is.
My point is, I love all the records. I love basically all the records Dave Navarro has done.
Yeah.
Including the ones with Perry Farrell, but it does not go vice versa.
No, that's fair. That is a great number one. That's a great number one. It is the best rock record of that year. You can make a case. The Alice in Chains record's a little all over the place, but it's really interesting and got some interesting. The deep cuts now come back later, like Frogs and things like that. This number one is an absolute killer for me because I had 3 or 4 records that could be and should be number one. I could have put any of these other records here. It's a real strain for me. I was really leaning toward Fear Factory for number one. It's kind of hard not to put them at number one, but and Fear Factory Demanufacture is a 10 of 10 record to me. You're not a fan, but to me, it's a 10 of 10 or at least a 9 of 10 record. If you really wanted to pick nits and pull out things, there's a cover on there on the expanded edition. Pinnacle Roadrunner era record.
That doesn't count. Expanded edition doesn't count.
Sure. So okay.
My number one is that it doesn't count.
I don't need your negativity in my life. So stop there.
Negativity.
Yeah, it is. I gotta go with Down Nola, the debut album from Down. Consider for a second that Crowbar, Corrosion Conformity, Pantera, Down, I Hate God have all these foundational genre records, 93, 94, 95, 96. And in the middle is Down, a band they didn't try to make big, put a supergroup together unironically, not in a hipster fucking way. The album is an absolute 10 of 10 flawless album. It is maybe Philip's best singing and vocal performance. It is an incredible riff and solo tour de force with Pepper and Kirk Peppertinen and Kirk Winstein. Bauer on drums. He's the guitar player in I Hate God. He's on the drums on this. And he sounds like Bonham. He specifically tuned his drum set and recorded in a house with the mics in the air to try to capture the room sound like Headley Grange, whatever it's called.
When the Levee
From
Breaks?
Zeppelin. When the Levee Breaks, that's correct. And then, it's just an unbelievable record. Todd Strange from Crowbar on bass, very underrated performance on that record. Down 2 has Rex Brown some years later. Really hard for me, though, because Faith No More, Alice in Chains, White Zombie, Astro Creep, Fear Factory is just a dynamic genre making album, but all of, just like I have to put down first. It is just too good. It's too good. I listened to it and I'm like, how did Pepper do Deliverance in 94, co-write down Nola, do Wise Blood in 96? How did Philip do Far Beyond Driven, Down, and then Trendkill? Like all in a row. And the same thing you can say of Crowbar and I Hate God. Like these are masterful musicians doing the top of their craft. And honestly, back then, I knew a lot of people who liked Superjoint Ritual, now defunct, and Philip does his hardcore and death metal stuff with other bands, Scour, and Down more than Pantera. Like Pantera was at their peak. They're the number one record with, number one with Far Beyond Driven, the first metal number one ever. Billboard charts, the main chart, number one Billboard chart.
Amazing to me still that it wasn't the Black Album, but I know
it wasn't the Black Album. It took the Black Album was a grower, not a shower.
Not a debut. Yeah, it didn't debut. It got
debuted at number one, Far Beyond Driven, and then the Great Southern Trendkill Pantera series next year, probably Down series next year, possibly. Trendkill debuted at number 4. So Down just edging out. I love King for a Day. Not, I have a couple of records higher than that one for Faith No More. I do love a lot of those Alice in Chains Tripod album songs. So I have a very good top 10. And then there's other things, Caius and, Spirit, St. Vitus and Dissection and you can Dismember. These are all incredible. Over has a record this year, Bergtot, which is I love the 2-point Over is a band that's like a David Bowie or Madonna. They change every couple of years. It would be a very good series to do Over. Their earliest records are straight up Viking black metal, second wave black metal, right after Mayhem, right alongside that. And then they were like, let's take a left turn and do this acoustic folk black metal. And then let's take another left turn and do Pink Floyd, but we're going to do Pink Floyd Obscured by Clouds. Then we're going to do Pink Floyd 70s. Then we're going to do Stoner Rock. Then we're going to do Depeche Mode for some reason, which is what they're doing now, Depeche Mode music, Depeche Over. So Bergtot is an excellent fucking record. It's just not my favorite compared to these ones. And I had just been aware of black metal in the early 90s, more by reputation than music. So Over is historically, Over and Enslaved are my two favorite bands from that era. And Enslaved has a demo out this year, so they're not there yet. If we do future years, we will come up to those bands. So, yeah, pretty fucking solid. Did you have any other records that you're fond of from this year that you wanted to shout out?
But
I want to do honorables. But
I said I was only going to do 3, and I'm only doing 3, but I can wrap up this year. I got a lot of thoughts on the year.
Go ahead.
This year was interesting because one of the things about metal is there have been so many times over the course of musical history that it has been declared metal is dead, metal is over, metal is dying. And in 1994, 1995, 1996, metal bands go in one of two ways. They either double down on the metal, Pantera Looking at You, or they shift, Def Leppard Looking at You. Or, I guess there's another way, or they start to just really adapt the genre in a way that it hadn't done before. When we look at the very first time that metal split, it was thrash. And then the next big split was death. And then the next big split, I didn't finger fudge pour properly, and I'll admit that. I'll own that. The next big split was crossover thrash, and then black metal. And the splits were the melding of genres. And in the 90s, we started getting rap metal. Then we got nu metal. Then we got gothic metal. And then all of these things started diverging and becoming more and more niche. And I think that's what makes metal the greatest genre there is in the world, because there's of course, when in blues there's Dixie blues, there's acoustic blues, there's Chicago blues, there's Detroit blues. Metal just takes all these ideas and goes even nuttier with them. We've got stoner metal coming, which is a great combination of grunge and metal. And there's so much in this era, and this post Black Album preload era, where all these metal bands are taking the idea of grunge and fusing it into metal and coming up with wildly different results. We go from grunge to stoner metal. We go from grunge to new metal. We go from grunge to rap metal. And the world changes. And now we have, it's like a buddy of mine asked me the other day, who's not into metal. He's like, you into doom? I'm like, yeah, I love doom metal. I also like funeral doom and stoner metal. And I started listing off all of the doom subgenres. And that's where we are. We're on the precipice of all of the splintering of metal, which my favorite kinds of anything are niche. Because when you're doing something niche and not mainstream, if you like it, you are gonna fucking love it. It's not like McDonald's. McDonald's isn't niche. McDonald's is for everybody. A quarter pounder is okay. It's okay. The fries, when they get them done just perfectly, are okay. Now Rallies isn't for everybody. Every time I go to Rallies, I love it. And that's what it's like when you get into these kinds of crazy subgenres. And we have the death of mainstream metal, the death of hair metal to thank for that. And that is such a cool moment that we could go back and look upon to see how many different cowboys of metal were riding all at one time. And I think that's pretty sweet.
That was lovely.
Thank you.
Do you have an interest in doing a quick tier list of the albums we discussed for our top threes, or no?
No.
I mean, the assumption is that they're top, but like,
I mean, if I would say that, One Hot Minute and Ragnarok are S tier, and then King Diamond is like C tier. I know what it is.
It hurts, man. I wish you would have said Osmosis then.
Why?
Because it's a better record than the Spider's Lullaby.
I don't know.
I'm not trying to gas my shit up. I think Down Nola and At the Gates are absolutely S tier, and Deftones is an A tier for sure.
Look, I chose a record based on nostalgia. I admit that, and I own that. Except I don't own it.
Okay. Well,
I need to buy
at least
it.
you owned it. I give respect. I think Don, I'm sad he's missed out. And Melissa says, this is actually, what do you think about this? Melissa says we should do episodes of histories of genres. That would be kind of cool.
I always got things to say.
We always have things to say and fight with about each other and shit on each other. No Paradise Lost record in 1995. That is the
Thank Christ.
Well,
next
55 and 96.
Next episode we don't wear shirts. We wear suspenders and beanies. Thoughts?
No. Shirt. I'm never without a shirt. I don't even take a shower naked. Come on, bro. Really? Come on. Look at me. You've seen me. You saw me sleeping on your couch. It could not have been attractive to see.
It was adorable. It was adorable.
It's adorable.
Because it's a love seat.
Well, I'm big boned and there's a lot of me to love. Hopefully not forever. I got nothing else. This was a very interesting time in my life. I was in journalism school, soon to drop out to take care of my sick mom. And I loved a lot of, I was super metal back then. I was metal all the time. I felt like the king of the world. I had done Woodstock 94. Every fucking release that came out, either a new band was blowing my mind or like Anthrax. Even if you don't love that record and you didn't like Bush, you could respect the grind of them putting out another record. They had a platinum record and they didn't rest on their laurels and they kept going. I would definitely have Anthrax and Fear Factory rounding out my top 5. It was just, and death metal is actually really legit. Death metal and stoner doom. We need to revisit some death metal next year. It'd be interesting with Don because he's not a death metal guy, and it'd be but he loves stoner rock and psychedelic rock. So it'd be very interesting to start seeing Don and glam rock and heavy metal. It'd be really interesting to start seeing Don really like not just be our sidekick, but actually like lead a series. I'm really excited for that for next year. Or maybe later this year. And we miss you, Don. I hope you're better. And we'll be back next week with episode 1 of Alice in Chains, one of my favorite bands ever, top 3 bands ever for me. So like, I'll lead that series, and the eating's going to be good.
I'll tell the story like more in depth next week, but or when it's appropriate. I saw them live on their last run, and it was one of the worst shows I've ever seen.
For sure.
And I walked out.
for sure. Yeah, was
and
it Lane was bad, like fucked up, and not,
oh yeah, he. I mean,
and
he
Jerry was probably wasted and high on coke.
Yeah, Jerry stood still. Lane rocked back and forth, and Mike Inez would run back and forth from to the wall to the monitors, do a kick, run back to the monitors, run back to the wall, run back to the monitors, do a kick. I mean, it was just the motions were gone through, and I couldn't tell you what they played or how long they played. I walked out, went and talked to my friends.
All right then.
It's depressing.
With no further ado, I think this has been the Glacially Musical Podcast. I am your co-host, Keefy. Thank you again to the host, Nick Cameron. I am exceedingly mean to him. We talk about this all the time. I am sorry. You also know how to push my buttons, and I think you do.
I wasn't even trying.
You don't have to try. You just, your existing is fucking offending me sometimes. King Diamond, get the fuck out of here. Anyway, thank you for listening. If you're new here, and you might be, please like and subscribe, especially to Glacially Musical. Ghost Cult has like 6,100 followers on YouTube and another 69,000 followers across social media. 69, hey. But Glacially, we could use some love on this podcast, on our follows, on Spotify or Deezer or D's Nuts or Apple Music, wherever the fuck you listen to podcasts, YouTube podcasts, whatever it is now, YouTube Music. And it's the Glacially Musical Podcast. It does not play in Peoria, and I don't think any band we covered today is from Peoria.
I don't think any band is from Peoria.
Mudvayne is from Peoria.
Are you serious?
Mudvayne is on their 25th anniversary tour, their debut album right now. We should do Mudvayne next year, too.
No wonder they suck so much ass.
You're terrible.
I am.
You know, today's International Day of Older Persons, and it's appropriate that I'm talking to you.
But I would...
Even though I'm older than you. You're act like a grandma, and your taste is crazy.
If I were Mudvayne, I'd want to get out of Peoria, too.
Think for a second about Red Hot Chili Peppers' War and King Diamond is your playlist. What is happening?
If I were them, I would also put on silver paint and rap.
No synergy.
To get out of Peoria.
They got better when they stopped doing the costumes and shit. All right.
Was that Mudvayne that I'm thinking of?
That is Mudvayne. That's the first. That's the first
like the Timu Static X.
Timu Slipknot. They were Slipknot's proteges. Okay, bye, y'all.
See ya.